Suffering from sciatica pain all the way down your legs? Couldn't find a comfortable position to sleep at night with your symptoms? Don't really even know what's causing your sciatica to begin with? Well, today in this video, I'm going to share with you some tips and strategy on how to sleep in the best position possible for you. Let's go! Hi, I'm Melanie the Physio, also the co-founder of Capital Physiotherapy here in Australia. Now, sciatica is actually a symptom. It's basically a symptom where the pains radiate anywhere down your sciatica nerve, and that can come from your lower back to the back of your hip to the back of your leg, your calf, and all the way down to your foot. It is a symptom, not actually a diagnosis. And the two most common issues that's causing sciatica to the point that people find it uncomfortable to sleep at night are generally because of disc herniation or spinal degeneration. Depending on the origin of your sciatica and what is the root cause of your symptoms, the advice that I'm going to give you is slightly different. Now, if you do not even know what's causing your sciatica symptom to begin with, I highly recommend you check out our sciatica series after this video. Now let's talk about disc herniation. Disc herniation is a condition that occurs when the soft center of the spinal disc gets pushed through a crack or a weak point and through to the tougher exterior casing. Some herniated discs have no symptoms at all. Others may irritate the nearby nerve that in result cause pain and numbness or even weakness down your legs. In order to reduce your symptoms, you want to avoid any sort of bending forward motion or anything that sort of bend your spine, and that's going to put more pressure on the disc and in turn irritates the nerve more. So if you do have disc herniation, then the advice that I normally give my client would be sleeping with a bit of a lumbar support. So the easiest way to do it if you have no equipment or nothing is to just roll up a towel and then wrap it around your waist. This slight bump is going to help you maintain a slightly more neutral position in your spine throughout your sleeping. And it's fine if you want to lie on your back, that's perfectly fine. But people who likes to lie on the side generally likes to bend their leg upwards. Now, if you bend your leg up to your chest, you're technically speaking doing a bending forward position, which is not ideal if you have disc herniation. So I generally recommend if you do or if you are a side sleeper and you are suffering from sciatica pain, then lie on the side is fine with the lumbar support or with the towel support to help keep your spine in a neutral position, but you want to straighten the bottom leg instead of bending them. You can choose to bend the top leg, but if you do, try not to go past your hip. Try to be lesser than hip height and put a pillow in between the top leg to try to keep your hip in a neutral position so they're not dropping in. Because if they're dropping in, you're slightly twisting your lower back, and that's going to irritate your back and cause your symptom to worsen throughout the night as well. Now, the next most common issue that causes sciatica is spinal degeneration. Now, spinal degeneration is a general term for age-related wear and tear on the spinal disc. The medical term is called spondylosis. It's common and worsens with age. This condition is often used to describe degenerative arthritis of your spine, basically. Now, general degeneration would decrease the height of your spine, and that in turn causes less space in between your spine, and then in turn might irritate the nerves that comes out from the spine and would slightly compress it or slightly irritates it, and that would cause your sciatica symptom. Now, quite the opposite from disc herniation, if you have spinal degeneration, you will find that going into flexion would actually relieve your symptoms a fair bit because you're giving more space on the spine, and that would then lead to less compression on the actual nerve. So for client who is suffering with sciatica because of spinal degeneration, I generally encourage them to put a pillow right underneath their knee or a pillow right underneath their bum to try to help encourage that spine flexion or the bending of your spine to give the nerve a little bit more space while you're sleeping. And in this situation, and if you're a side sleeper, then I generally recommend people to bend their knee all the way up to their chest into that flexion position. I will still put pillow in between your knees to try to keep the hip level, but I'll encourage people to bend their knees up as close to their chest as possible to try to decompress the spine a little bit and give that nerve a little bit of breathing space so that they're not so irritable. Now, of course, all these tips and strategy is just to help you sleep a little better. It's not really a cure for your symptoms or your pain. Actually, in fact, whether it's disc herniation or is it degenerative of your spine, either way, you would benefit a lot from having a lot of core, back, and hip strengthening to help support that back a little bit, to make sure that your muscle is a little bit stronger, to help stabilize that back a little bit. Now, if you want to find out how you can help to strengthen your back to help improve your general symptoms and the health of your back as a whole, I highly recommend you check out our core exercise link up here. That's generally the start of most of the back rehab that I give my client who is suffering from back pain. Now, although sciatica is a very, very common problem, it's a very, very complex condition to try to rehab. So I highly recommend that if you are indeed suffering from sciatica symptoms, to seek professional help, because you would definitely need professional help to help rehab through this condition. On top of that, of course, you want to do a lot of research. There's so many information out there online now, but make sure you get the information that's reliable, because unreliable information can actually cause more harm than good for you. Reliable resources. Reliable resources? Make sure you click the subscribe button down below. Now, I am one that truly believes that a person has the highest chance of rehab and the highest chance of being successful in their rehab if they are fully aware of what their own condition is and learn to work with the therapist and learn to educate themselves and be really good at self-management. This is the video to just help you ease off your symptom while you're sleeping. We have a lot of other video that helps with lower back pain as well, so I highly recommend you check them out. That's it for me today. I'm Melanie and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, happy and healthy. Good luck with your sleeping strategy. See ya!